Right.
That
Exactly. And that's again well within the realm of a possibility because I know for example, like most well actually I'll just take Azure for this example, right? They'll tell you when hey, someone
yeah,
logged into this account from a location that they never have, right? Like yeah, that's basic
they're
machine
good
learning.
at that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not yeah, they can do that. Like yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's some of the next steps in what they're actually doing. But like when it comes to social engineering though, that's always going to be the biggest attack vector. Yeah, the biggest attack surface because what sounds better? Trying to find a 0 day for a system, like yeah, trying to make up some complex hack, or I can just call someone to give me the password. Like, yeah, I guess one of those sounds a lot easier than the other. Like, yeah, and and it works. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it definitely
yeah,
works.
attackers continue to do it because it works.
Yeah. They're
Mhm.
they're social engineering all the help desk with like bad verification processes. Like
Right. Mhm.
if they know a little bit of information from somebody, they're trying to get that stuff out of there.
Right.
So I was just looking at a question, and I know earlier we were talking about vulnerability management, and then you just brought up like what a pain that most people who work in cybersecurity know about, like how asset management pretty much sucks everywhere.
Yeah.
Can Q function? Well, I guess you already kind of explained what you guys do with taking the logs and understand that thing. But what does it do on the terms of like doing security assessments and stuff like that? Of seeing like, okay, these are the things that need to be fixed. Like, how does how does Q function do stuff like that?
Right. So I will say that we don't do that right now.
Okay,
Like, yeah. So yeah, security assessments. No, we're not anywhere near that realm of possibility. And what I make sure is that I advertise exactly what I'm gonna do, and we don't do security
okay,
assessments
cool,
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
because that'd be definitely pretty cool. It's like it definitely could help out. Like, it's always some work to be done that people don't know that's in the backlog of
Right.
stuff to do.
Mm.
And I know I had a question. You kind of already said like how it works with SIM, so I'm assuming it also works with EDR tools, SOARs, anything else.
Effectively any data that you're ingesting because at the end of the day it's all data whatever you're trying to learn the normal of q function can apply machine learning to and when it comes to cyber learning that normal is starting to become increasingly important so if you're trying to say what are normal firewall logs for me right if you start seeing a lot of long running connections or maybe you see beaconing behavior AI will be able to actually detect that, right? Because again, you're collecting these logs anyway. You're just not really doing anything with them. Like, yeah. So it's more, just whatever your data set is, whatever you're trying to do, yeah, with it.
Right.
Mhm.
So I know one of my questions was the smaller, companies, mom and pop shops, whatever. Those are oftentimes the people that don't think they need it, but like really, like they're probably one thing away from probably like their business going up in shambles just because they don't have the requisite, security protection.
Right.
How could Q Function serve like companies that don't have a big budget, that can't afford to really hire like a lot of people, or maybe they just have one IT person that's doing security, networking,
Yeah.
database, like they're doing everything. Like how
Exactly.
can Q Function help them?
That's good. That's a good question. So we don't focus solely on AI. Like one of the services that we also provide is SIEM support, right? SIEM consultation. Because when it comes down to it, like you said, if it's one person, they're already overwhelmed, right? They're effectively a one-man cyber team, and you're in a losing position. You just are. Like yeah. So what we can provide is SIEM some support, SIEM consultation, how to ingest logs into your SIEM, whether it be from your important endpoints, your networking software, whatever you're trying to do, in order to help those smaller businesses, right? Because a lot of them don't have the expertise to actually do that. A lot of them haven't even seen this because normally when you have those one man bands, not only are they cybersecurity, but they're also just IT in general,
Yeah.
right? Like yeah, so a lot of them don't even know what a SIEM is. They don't even know what that stands for. Like yeah, so what QCon function can provide is that expertise for SIEM consultation and however to best architect your SIEM. But like I said though, for those for when it comes to AI, it's not a end all be all solution.
Right.
It's not for everybody. AI is not going to solve all your security issues. For those mom and pop shops, you are way better off making sure that you know what's on your network, that one computer or two computers, right? It's better if you're not reusing the same password across different services. It's better that, if you're dealing with banking or some type of money, you always call the person, make sure, hey, is this from you? Like, is there some type of established process that you follow in order to verify your business operations, right? You don't need AI for that. So, like, yeah, and again, that goes back to covering your basics first. Once you get your basics down for those mom and pop shops, that may be all they actually need until they grow more, and then they start needing to collect more logs and better secure it. So for those mom and pop shops, you may not need Q function. You just need just basic security knowledge for that. Like, yeah, but for those smaller businesses that are actually need to collect data, that's where Q function can provide value.
Cool, cool.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking about something because I've really never thought about this, but I assume I know they do because a client of mine actually got I think it's this admin job or something like that with the Potter's House out here in Dallas.
Okay.
And I just thought about like churches. Like, think about how many people are bringing their phones and stuff on the church network, and some churches got ATMs and they got other stuff. They may have servers and stuff there or something, but like, I wonder, are they secure?
Probably not. Like, yeah, because when it comes to Wi-Fi some security, I mean, people don't know how bad it can be because what a lot of people will do, or what a lot of businesses will do, or organizations, is that they'll put everything on the same network. So the same network that people connect to for their guest Wi-Fi is the same network that they host their actual computers on. Like, yeah, they don't have like that network segregation, right? So, all I need to do is just go on your network, which you provide me the password for, because I'm assuming that it's public Wi-Fi. And now I just have wide open access to whatever you have on your network, whether it's a sensitive server, whether it's some sensitive database, right? And a lot of people, who are in those types of non-technical organizations, they may not know that certain services are accessible over the network, right? They may not see port 445 open on that Windows system. They may not see port
Hmm.
3306 open on that database. They may not see these things, so they just don't know it, right? So, that's more going back to basic security hygiene, like, hey,
Right.
knowing how to, better segregate your networks, like, or your systems on the network. But assuming that they have that, there's absolutely possibility that AI can help them, because now again you're establishing what's normal for your assets and then be able to tell you when something deviates from that. So yeah, that's absolutely possible within the realm of
Yeah.
possibility.
I think you should start pitching to the mega churches, man.
Maybe I should. Like, yeah, I need to start taking some money from them. No. No.
It's, look, it's all tax free. Look, go talk to TD Jakes and everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, because I mean, of course we see the church, but they have so many other business things that they're doing
Right. Mm.
within those. They're essentially corporations, but just not taxed like it.
Exactly. Like, yeah, and that's a whole nother, subject in and of itself. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, man, they are yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that. Point is that yes, like, yeah, they can definitely benefit from that because they are doing business operations, like, yeah, right, on using computers. And if you're doing that, you need cybersecurity. Yes, they can absolutely benefit from that.